Good morning, students. In today's video, I'll explain the next part of the chapter Footprints Without Feet. In previous video, I explained about a scientist named Griffin who was very intelligent, but he was a lawless person. He had discovered a rare drug to make him invisible. He was involved himself in many crimes, like he burnt his landlord house and robbed the shopkeeper and took all his money. So let's see what happened afterwards. That part I'll cover in the rest part of the story. Eager to get away from crowded London, he took a train to the village of Iping, where he booked 2 rooms at the local inn. So the scientist, he wanted to escape from London, the crowded city, and he wanted to settle in a remote village. So he took a train to the village of Iping, and there he booked 2 rooms at the local inn. Inn means a kind of house which provides accommodation, food, especially for the travelers. The arrival of a stranger at an inn in winter was in any case an unusual event. So the arrival of a stranger at the inn during the winter time, it was totally unusual event, because during the winter season generally nobody goes to London because it's already very cold there. A stranger of such uncommon appearance set all tongues wagging. So when the people saw that stranger, the scientists, they started gossiping. Mrs. Hall, the landlord's wife, made every effort to be friendly. So the Mrs. Hall, the landlord's wife, she tried to be friendly with the scientist. But Griffin had no desire to talk and told her. But Griffin had didn't show any interest to talk to her and told her, my reason for coming to Iping is a desire for solitude. Solitude means alone. And she told Mrs. Hall, and he told Mrs. Hall that his reason for coming to Iping to live, to spend some time lonely, to live alone. I do not wish to be disturbed in my work. Besides, an accident has affected my face, and he also instructed that he didn't want anybody should disturb him in his work. Besides, he also said his face got injured by an accident. He had met with an accident, so that he got injured in his face. Satisfied that her guess was an eccentric means strange, scientist, and in view of the fact that he had paid her in advance, Mrs. Hall was prepared to excuse his strange habits and irritable temper. As we know that the Griffin, was very irritative and he had some strange habit, but Mrs. Hall was ready to excuse his all such habits and his temper, because he had paid a lot of money in advance as a rent to Mrs. Hall. So she was ready to ignore all his such type of his habit. But the stolen money did not last long, and presently Griffin had to admit that he had no more ready cash. So all the stolen money was about to finish, and he admit that he had no cash to pay for a rent. He pretended, however, that he was expecting a check to arrive at any moment. He pretended. He made a false statement. He acted that, however, he was waiting for a check. Check means payment. He was waiting for a payment to arrive him at any moment. He was waiting for some payment. Shortly afterwards, a curious episode occurred. After some days, there was an strange incident happened in the village. Very early in the morning, a clergyman and his wife were awakened by noises in the study. So, what happened? Very early in the morning, the clergyman means the priest in the church, and his wife, they were awakened by some noises. They found that some kind of noises in their study room. Creeping downstairs, they heard the chink of money being taken from the clergyman's desk. So when they were creeping downstairs, they could hear the sound of coins, the noise of coins, which were being taken by somebody from the clergyman's desk. Without making any noise and with the poker means a metal rod, firmly in his hand, the clergyman flung open the door. So, without making any noise, when they heard the noise of that somebody was taking their money from the desk, so they didn't make any noise and hold a metal rod in his hand, and the clergyman suddenly opened the door and he said, "Surrender." Then, to his amazement, he realized that the room appeared to be empty. The moment he opened the door, he was surprised. Why was he surprised? Because he didn't find anybody in the room. The room was empty. He and his wives looked under the desks, behind the curtains, and even up the chimney. So his and his wife looked every corner of the room, under the desk, behind the curtains, even up the chimney. There wasn't a sign of anybody, but they didn't find anybody was present in the room. Yet the desk had been opened and the housekeeping money was missing. But they didn't find anybody was present in the room. But they found that the desk was opened and all the money which they kept for housekeeping, house essential work, all money was missing. Extraordinary affair, the clergyman kept saying for the rest of the day. So the clergyman became shocked. For him, it was an extraordinary affair. Why was it extraordinary affair? Because he could not able to see anybody in the room, but the money was missing. Then the rest of the day he was saying it was an extraordinary affair. But it was not an extraordinary as the behavior of Mrs. Hall's furniture a little later that morning. But the another extraordinary matters came in front of them. That was the behavior of Mrs. Hall's furniture. So something more extra was happening with Mrs. Hall's furniture on the same morning. The landlord and his wife were up very early and they were surprised to see the scientist's door wide open. So on the same day, the landlord and his wife they woke up early in the morning and they were surprised to see the scientist's door was open. Usually it was shut and locked. Generally what happened that the scientist's door was always shut or locked. And he was furious if anyone entered his room. And he became furious. Furious means angry. He became very angry when anybody entered into his room. The opportunity seemed to be too good to be missed. The opportunity. So the landlord and his wife, they got the opportunity very good and they don't want to miss that opportunity. They peeped around the door, saw nobody and decided to investigate. So they peeped around the door. They peeped inside the door and found nobody was there and they entered to find the truth. The bedclothes were cold, showing that the scientists must have been up for some time. When they entered inside and they touched the bedclothes means bed sheet and they found it was cold. So they assumed that the scientist must have woken up early in the morning. And stranger still, the clothes and bandages that he always wore were lying about the room. All of a sudden, Mrs. Halls heard a sniff close to her ear. Suddenly, Mrs. Halls heard a sniffing noise near to her ear. A moment later, the hat on the bedpost leapt up and dashed itself into her face. And the next moment, the hat which was on the bedpost leapt and moved itself into her face. Then the bedroom chair became alive, springing into the air, and the chair in the bedroom they started jumping into the air, and it charged straight at her, and it moved straight at her and the legs foremost. as she and her husband turned away in terror. So, when the chair heard Mrs. Hall's in her lag, she and her husband moved away from the room because they were frightened. The extraordinary chair pushed them both out of the room, and the extraordinary chair pushed them out of the room, and then appeared to slam and lock the door after them. And afterward, the chair slammed the door and locked it. Mrs. Hall almost fell down the stairs in hysteric. Then Mrs. Hall completely fell down in the stairs in hysterics. Hysteric means she became so emotional. She was convinced that the room was haunted by spirit. She was believed that the room was definitely haunted by some ghost, and that the stranger had somehow caused these to enter into her furniture. And she blamed and she had a doubt on a stranger that somehow he was responsible to enter these spirit into her furniture. My poor mother used to sit in that chair, she moaned, to think it should rise up against me now. So the Mrs. Hall, she was very upset. She was saying that her mother used to sit in that chair. Now that chair started raising against her then. The feeling among the neighbors was that the trouble was caused by witchcraft. So all the neighbors, when they came to about that those incidents which was happening in Mrs. Hall's house and clergyman's home, so they were thinking that all this trouble is caused by witchcraft. But witchcraft or not, when news of Bulgari at the clergyman's home became known, but when the news of theft, Bulgari means theft at the clergyman's home, become familiar to everybody. Everybody known about that theft. The strange sentence was strongly suspected of having had a hand in it. So everybody had a doubt, and strange scientist Griffin was as a stronger suspected among them. Suspicion grew even stronger when he suddenly produced some ready cash, though he had admitted not long before that he had no money. And the suspicion grew even stronger when suddenly he had produced the ready cash, though he pretended that he had no ready cash few days back. The village constable was secretly sent for when so the all the villagers decided to call the constable because they had a doubt on scientist. Instead of waiting for the constable, Mrs. Hall went to the scientist. So Mrs. Hall didn't wait for the constable. She immediately went to the scientist, who had somehow mysteriously appeared from his empty bedroom. When she entered inside into his room, and she found somehow he mysteriously appeared inside the bedroom. I want to know what you have been doing in my chair upstairs, she demanded. Then she demanded then what he was doing with his chair upstairs. And I want to know how it is you came out of an empty room and how you entered a locked room. And she also asked, how did he come outside from the empty room and how did he enter outside into the locked room? The scientist was always quick tempered. Now he became furious. As we know, the scientist was in habit of short tempered. Now he became furious and he became very angry. You don't understand who or what I am, he shouted. Very well, I'll show you. Then he said to Mrs. Hawes, you don't understand. She didn't understand who he was, and he shouted he would show her who was he. Suddenly he threw off bandages, whiskers, spectacles, and even nose. So suddenly the strangers, the scientist started throwing all the bandages, whiskers, spectacles, and even nose. It took him only a minute to do this, and within a minute, all those things. he took off all those things. The horrified people in the bar found themselves staring at a headless man. So the people, they were very horrified. Horrified means they become frightened, and themselves they were staring a headless man. Mrs. Jaffer, the constable, now arrived and was quite surprised to find that he had to arrest a man without a head. So the meanwhile, the Mr. Jaffers, also, the constable also arrived there, and he was surprised because he had to arrest a headless man. But Jaffer was not easily prevented from doing his duty. But Mr. Jaffer was bound to doing his duty. If a magistrate warrant ordered a person's arrest, then the person had to be arrested. Then he said if a magistrate gave him an order to arrest somebody, so it doesn't matter whether the man has head or without head, arrested with or without his head. There followed a remarkable scene as the policeman tried to get a hold of a man who was becoming more and more invisible as he took off one garment after another. So there was a noticeable scene created by the policeman and the scientist. Policeman was trying to hold a man who was becoming more and more invisible at the moment he was throwing his garment one by one. Finally, a shirt flew into the air, and the constable found himself struggling with someone he could not see. So, finally, when he flew his shirt, and the scientist became totally invisible, and constable was found that he was struggling with someone to whom he could not see. Some people tried to help him but found themselves hit by blows that seemed to come from nowhere. So some people, they were trying to help the constable, but they found themselves were hitting by some hands, and they were not able to understand from who was hitting them. In the end, Jaffer was knocked. Knocked means fall, unconscious as he made a last attempt to hold on to the unseen scientist. At last, the Jaffer was unconscious when he tried to make his last attempt to hold the invisible scientist. There were nervous, excited cries of hold him. So all the neighbors, all the villagers, they were nervous, and when they found that the when they found that the Jaffer become unconscious, they cried. They said, hold him, hold him. But this was easier said than done. But it was easy to say to hold him, but rather than doing. Griffin had shaken himself free because Griffin had made himself free from all the people, and no one knew where to lay hands on him, and no one because nobody could see him, so they were not able to understand from how to catch him. So, student, this was a story about the invisible man.